Go ahead, ask me. How old's my mother-in-law?
How old is your mother?
My mother-in-law is so old that when God said, "Let there be light," she flipped the switch. That's funny. You should laugh. Now I'm going to read a poem here. This is a poem about my wedding day. And, oh yeah.
I was there.
Doug was there.
Absolutely.
Doug was there, and this is called The Ride.
Did he go on honey?
No, he didn't. He's too old to travel. All right. Just kidding. I'm a bull rider and have been for most of my life. The worst ride I took was the day I married my wife. I didn't really intend to rodeo that day, but let me tell you the story. It happened this way. It happened just after the wedding ceremony. I'd either have to ride or pay alimony. 'Twas my buddy that initially proposed the ride, saying he got approval from my lovely bride. Before I could refuse, I was standing face to face with the meanest, ugliest soul of the bovine race. I flashed back to the circuit of my rookie summer. I was stronger then, but also more dumber. I drew a bull named Snakebite in Cody, Wyoming. His eyes were bloodshot and his mouth was foaming. I just jumped on for the ride. I had no strategy. The way I was kicked, stomped, and dragged was a tragedy. With that awful life lesson running fresh through my head, I grabbed hold of the brute, and to the center I was led. As I tried to hang on, I cursed that slippery hide. 'Twas less than 8 seconds before I became the ride. I was spun, tossed, and heaved like a raggedy old doll. I was getting trampled as away I tried to crawl. Then commenced jolts and jives, all with extra fast twirling. Kicks to my midsection made me feel like hurling. Laughing on the perimeter were all the cowpokes. The music stopped. I knew I'd be the butt of their jokes. 'Twas on my own wedding day. I was spilled like... let me start that again. 'Twas on my own wedding day. I was slung like spilt chaw. Not bull riding, but dancing with my mother-in-law. That was really poor delivery. My mother-in-law is actually mad at me right now. She's real mad at me.
How
mad is she? I'll tell you how mad she is. Well, I didn't get her a birthday present this year. But last year, I got my mother-in-law the most beautiful, the grass is green, the tree, I got her a funeral plot up at the cemetery for her birthday. It was very nice. And this year I didn't get her anything. She said, "Dusty, why didn't you get me anything for your birthday?" I said, "Mom, you haven't even used what I got you last year." This is a rough crowd here.
That was the best one.
I'm just looking through my poems here. I should have one more. All right, let's see. Oh, this is a fun one. Let me make sure I got it all, because I am a little more organized usually. So this is another horse riding poem. This one's called Old Dutch, and I think it's all here. Old Dutch. It was a Saturday night. The ranch chores were done, and all us cowpokes wanted to have some fun. "Let's go drink whiskey," said old Zeke. "That's no good. We did that last week." "Let's go see the girls of Farmer Patterson." "We can't do that. Their ma's got a brand new scattergun." Clint suggested, "Let's play some draw poker." "We don't get paid till next week, you joker." "Well, what do you want to do since you know so much?" "I'm thinking about saddling up Old Dutch." "Say what, Dusty? You wouldn't even dare. Why, that Mustang's meaner than a grizzly bear." "Well, one thing's for sure, I ain't no scaredy cat. If you're not gonna ride, at least hold my hat." I led the way to the riding corral. Clint grabbed my arm and said, "Don't do it, pal." "Nope, I made up my mind, it's too late to go back." While I saddle him, cover his eyes with a sack. Old Dutch was bucking and snorting like a pig. As I stood there, I forgot he was so big. I saddled him up and suppressed my fears. I mounted up, my boots hit my ears. Before the sack was off, Old Dutch lit out. "Ride him, Dusty!" Clint started to shout. Old Dutch jumped, kicked, writhed, and started to twist. My muscles were flexed, but none tighter than my fist. I gripped both the reins and felt a real strong jolt. I knew right then old Dutch was gonna bolt. Sure enough, old Dutch was gonna take flight. He'd cross the corral, I shut my eyes tight. I braced myself and got real tense, waiting to go right through the fence. He took a mighty leap over the top rail. He cleared the fence, and away we did sail. The other cowpokes, hollers, shouts, and cheers all but faded away from my doomed ears. I don't remember much else, but all I can say, I must have got dragged a long, long way. When I made it back to the rest of the cowpokes, I knew for years I'd be the butt of their jokes. As they laughed, my face was bright red. I sure as heck wished I was dead. And you could easily make a funeral wreath from all the sagebrush stuck in my teeth. All right, thank you. So I teach cowboy poetry